In this video, I'm going to show you how I got really good at casing for management consulting really fast. Like very fast, like less than 3 weeks fast. And no, I didn't do over 30 cases and I don't come from a traditional professional background. I'm a military veteran. Now I was in somewhat of an unfortunate situation with an MBB firm where I had less than 3 weeks to prepare before an interview started. So I got on the phone with some of my mentors, some of my friends to try to plan forward. And I followed this plan and it helped me land a summer internship offer with an MBB firm. So I'm going to give you 7 unconventional tips that you cannot research that helped me land an offer, and hopefully they'll help you. So let's get into it. Tip number 1, adjust your approach to practicing. You have to understand why practice is important. And to explain this, I'm going to use a sports analogy. Let's take any main American sport, right? You have your practices, you have your scrimmages, you have your games, then you have playoffs, and then you have the championship. And how this relates to consulting is that championship is the final interview with the partner. And you cannot get to the championship if you do not practice. You are not Allen Iverson. You need to practice just like everyone else.
Practice?
And to practice in management consulting is to drill. Practicing does not mean going through cases cold. You have to drill to get every element of the holistic casing interview process if you want to do well and make it to that championship round. And continue with the sports analogy, to scrimmage means to walk through cases on your own and with people that you know. The games are actually live cases with people that you don't know, and we'll talk about that later. And obviously the playoffs are the first and second round interviews, and then you get to that championship game, which is the final round of interviews with the partner at the firm. The main point of tip 1 is to understand that practice means drill. Practice does not mean go through cases. Now, tip number 2 is the only resource that I believe you need to get good at casing. Rocketblocks.com. They are not sponsoring this video, but this platform saved my life. It does cost a little money, but choose your heart. Now, you use Rocketblocks to drill and to get good at every element of the whole case interview. So separate your practice by drills, spend time there, do your frameworks, do your structures, do your mental math. This is where skill acquisition comes into play. So I would break down my practice time in the morning or in the afternoon on my lunch break and even in the evening with doing specific drills, whether that's me doing mental math all morning or doing the mergers and acquisitions cases all morning, go-to-market cases all morning. I would spend the afternoon reviewing the drills that I practice. And then I would, in the evening, sometimes I would walk through a case on my own or with someone that I know. The point is you have to drill and you have to practice to get good before you get into the cases. And a secondary tool to go under point 2, any type of platform or software or resource that you can use to listen to what a good case sounds like. If you don't know what a successful case sounds like, it's hard to implement it. So you can use YouTube, do your research. You can use caseinterviewseekers.com, something like that. There are plenty of resources out there for you to listen to a successful case. But we're gonna move on. Tip 3, create your own frameworks. Use your own frameworks. You do not want to use the same generic frameworks that everyone else will be using during the case. Yes, you want to include the 2 or 3 obvious sections for certain cases, but to separate yourself, you want to show your own creative genius and use a couple of outliers and a couple of unexpected frameworks when you're going through your case. And here's a pro tip that you can use with rocketblocks.com to help you create your own frameworks. When you're doing your structure drills, scroll to the bottom and you will see expert answers and community answers that have community upvotes. Study those answers. So by the time I was done drilling with the structures, I had so many elements of the structures memorized that I could plug and play with any case and create my own framework. And it was money. I need a new camera. So like, comment, and subscribe so I can get a new camera. Tip number 4, network. Yes, we still have to network until you have screw you money and screw you freedom. You have to network. But in any case, you want to reach out to your school's affinity club or your consulting club to get resources from them. So I reached out to a couple of people that were in the vets club at Wharton and through their consulting club, and I ended up with 3 different case prep books with hundreds of cases to go through. A lot of resources. Now here's another tip with networking, and this can be a little bit risky, but if you do it right, it can change the game for you because it's something that I did, and I do believe it was a tipping point for me. Listen to me. You want to get somewhat familiar with 1 or 2 people in the office, not the whole office. Look, this is a social professional game and the people in each office whisper. And that's not a bad thing. but you want to get ahead of it. And trust me, they do whisper, and that's okay. Now, don't go on LinkedIn and start cold calling and cold emailing partners. Don't do none of that. Don't be weird. This is what I did. So I use LinkedIn to search through my undergraduate network, but you can do it with any social club that you belong to, any pre-MBA programs that you belong to, whether it's Twigo, MLT, Reardon, Forte, any of those things. But you want to use LinkedIn, filter for location, filter for the firm, and filter for as many things as possible where you have things alike with the person that you are reaching out to. The more things you have in common, the more likely they are to help you. And you want to use this to your advantage. And this is helpful for people in the office because they are very aware of the timelines. So again, the more you have in common with someone you reach out to, the more likely they are to help you if you're coming to them with a forward communication style or with a pressing deadline. Again, I had less than 3 weeks and the people I reached out to were very supportive. And this leads into tip number 5, which is very important. You have to case with people you don't know. And I'll tell you why this is important. You're naturally going to be more comfortable with people that you already know, but you want to simulate game time as much as possible. So it's important after you've done adequate practice to case with people that you don't know. And reaching out to people at the firm will help you do that. You can also use your school and any alumni networks that you have, but I used everything. I used the firm, I used the academy, I used Wharton to case with people that I do not know. That's important. But listen to me, if you use the firm, make sure you've done enough practice to be competent at casing. And casing with people at the firm is ideal because they will tell you what you need to say in the case. But you want to present yourself well, because remember, they whisper, and it's not a bad thing that they whisper. Tip number 6, don't be a robot. Look, you can be excellent at casing, but if you don't present yourself in the interview as someone that the people at the firm would like to work with, you're done. If you don't present yourself as someone interesting and someone that they would just enjoy being around, you're done. Or if you present yourself as super smart, but you're a hardo, you're done. Nobody wants to work with a hardo. Show personality in conversation and personalize the case. So make like a personal comment about the case before you get into your framework at the beginning. You can also smile, do your skincare routine, brush your teeth, all of that. But the reality is some firms are just big corporate frats and sororities. Very social. Likability is part of the evaluation. I don't like the rules. And the final tip, which is probably the most important, you have to execute the start of the interview. The start is everything. I was told by someone who gets paid a lot of money to case people that a partner knows if a candidate has a good chance by how they start the structure of the case. So if you start strong, the interviewer will ride that momentum through the end of the case and give you grace if you mess up. And I experienced this. I think I messed up on that twice during my final round, but I started very, very strong and I ended up getting the offer still. So start strong and allow the interviewer to ride the momentum of your early success through the end. And here are the elements of a great start. Present yourself well, nail the structure, and speak with confidence and conviction. Present yourself well, that goes to the social aspect, the likability aspect. Handle your business, do some inner work on that. Nail the structure. Rocket blocks, rocket blocks, rocket blocks. Do the drills, get the reps in, get your structures together. Speak with confidence and conviction. You can be wrong in one of your structures and still get an offer as long as you are convicted and confident about your wrong structure. So speak with conviction, be bold, be confident in yourself. This blueprint can be a great addition to your case prep regimen, but what happens after you get into the firm? Better yet, how do you choose and navigate a dream career no matter what the industry or the profession is? Well, I'm here to help. In this video, I share with you my process on how I found the perfect industry for me and how we together can navigate our industries going forward to maximize our potential for success, no matter what industry we choose. So check it out. I'm rooting for you. Good luck. You got it. Peace. Damn, I done messed up the camera angle. So what happened was the battery died. I had to take the camera off the tripod, put it back on, but I messed up the angle. So now the frame is off, but that's okay, cause I pay an editor. So hopefully he'll fix it again. Where we at? Sit, boom, boom, bow, 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 bow. We good?